One of these ladies has been married for more than 10 years, is over 30 years old, yet for several months posed successfully as a 16-year-old high school student. What is your name, please?
My name is Lynn Tornabene.
My name is Lynn Tornabene.
My name is Lynn Tornabene.
Only one of these ladies is the real Lynn Tornabene. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Orson Bean, Kitty Carlisle, plus 100 members of our studio audience on To Tell the Truth.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman. I have had occasion in my life to defend marriage, to stand up for marriage, to believe in the hard work and challenge of marriage. So I take umbrage at anyone who might suggest that those of us who worry about amending the Constitution are less committed to the sanctity of marriage or to the fundamental bedrock principle that it exists between a man and a woman going back into the mists of history as one of the foundational institutions of history and humanity and civilization, and that its primary principal role during those millennia has been the raising and socializing of children for the society into which they are to become adults.
But first, never-before-seen video of Hillary Clinton inside the Walmart empire. She is probably one of the most investigative politicians in American history. And this morning, you're going to see her in a way you've never seen her before, serving on the board of Walmart. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross is here with details on this. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Robin. Although she makes no mention of it in her official biography, Hillary Clinton served for 6 years on the board of Walmart, the huge retailer criticized by many for its treatment of workers and its strident opposition to unions.
And with Singapore and a growing list of other countries on both sides of the Pacific, we are making progress toward finalizing a far-reaching new trade agreement called the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The so-called TPP will lower barriers, raise standards, and drive long-term growth across the region. It will cover 40% of the world's total trade and establish strong protections for workers and the environment. Better jobs with higher wages and safer working conditions, including for women, migrant workers, and others, too often in the past excluded from the formal economy, will help build Asia's middle class and rebalance the global economy. Canada and Mexico have already joined the original TPP partners. We continue to consult with Japan, and we are offering to assist with capacity building so that every country in ASEAN can eventually join. We welcome the interest of any nation willing to meet 21st century standards as embodied in the TPP, including China.
Hillary Clinton has long been touting her experience, but questions are being raised now about whether she's done some embellishing of her record. Here's investigative correspondent Cheryl Atkinson.
It was supposed to be an example of Hillary Clinton's battle-tested experience.
I remember landing under sniper fire.
In the speech last week, Senator Clinton was referring to her visit to Tuzla, Bosnia in 1996 as First Lady. The brutal war was over, but hostilities continued. And though the trip was exactly 12 years ago tomorrow, the memory seemed etched in Clinton's mind.
There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles to get to our base.
Problem is, that's not what happened. And we should know, CBS News accompanied the First Lady and daughter Chelsea on that Bosnia trip. That's Senator Clinton talking to me on the military flight into Tuzla. And these are the pictures we recorded of the greeting ceremony when the plane landed. Compare that to Senator Clinton's account.
I remember landing under sniper fire. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now that is what happened.
Regarding your Bosnia trip, you said, I remember landing under sniper.
Yeah, no, wait, that's what I said when I was sleep deprived. You can read my book, and I said something very different. Yeah, I misspoke. Yeah, I totally misspoke. You know, I've talked about this endlessly. I wrote about it, and I don't know what I was thinking. Because, yeah, we were told that we had to land under, you know, some threats, and the military did a great job. I was the First Lady taken to a war zone since Eleanor Roosevelt. But that was just sleep deprivation.
Do you still favor licensing and registration of handguns?
What I favor is what works in New York. You know, we have a set of rules in New York City, and we have a totally different set of rules in the rest of the state. What might work in New York City is certainly not going to work in Montana. So for the federal government to be having any kind of, you know, blanket rules that they're going to try to impose, I think doesn't make sense.
Senator,
Genetically modified sounds Frankensteinish. Drought resistance sounds really something you want. So how do you create a different vocabulary to talk about what it is you're trying to help people do? And that I would urge the association and companies working in this area to really try to be more thoughtful about, so that you don't raise that red flag immediately.
That's all we have time for. It's time to mark your ballots without consultation and without change. And the team of challengers will, of course, receive $250 for each incorrect vote. And while you're voting, panel, it's time for our studio audience to vote. On the voting machines in front of each of you, you will find 3 buttons. Now, when I say vote, please select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Are you ready? Number 2. So let's find out now which of these ladies, in truth, is Lynn Tornabene. Will the real Lynn Tornabene please stand up?